Hi, everyone. Good morning. It's kind of early here, and I have another video for you all. So let's say this is the situation. You go to sleep, you have a dream, you wake up, and you might be either thinking about the dream, or if you're like me, you look over at the clock to see, okay, what time does the clock say, as in what are the actual numbers? And then you go from there. So let's say it's day two. So for me, this is a day two, as in this is the second time that I went to sleep, had a dream, woke up, and the same number was on the clock. And so, kind of like I mentioned in the earlier video, I'm all about journaling with numbers. And so, this video will be about how would I journal with numbers, and I'm going to just use my own experiences to talk you through how I journal with numbers. So, like I said, woke up this morning, had a dream, then I woke up and then the clock said 451. Okay. And this is the second morning in a row it was 451. I believe I can use anything to journal with. And so I got excited. That's the beginning of a journal prompt. So the first things I'd be thinking about are, what does 451 mean, as in the different numbers, as well as what does it mean added all together. So 4, 5, 1, 4 plus 5, 9 plus 1, 10. That's 10, which also equals a 1. Interesting enough, we had talked about in the last video that there being a 10-day coming up and how that had a lot to do with the numerology of the day and the astrology of the day. And so now I've had a dream, and these are, for me, numbers confirm themselves. So now 4, 5, and 1. The first thing I would do is I would look up each number. Now, everyone does this differently. You don't have to do this way, but that's what I do. I start off with the number 4, 5, and 1. So some really quick and simple ones for 4. A 4 means foundation. Imagine you have 4 legs on a chair, like I'm sitting on a chair. So if it has a firm foundation, I'm able to sit down. It means stability. It can also mean what are the things that you need to create stability. 5, I mentioned 5 yesterday. 5 means a pivot point, turning point, halfway in a cycle. And so if you're having, depending on what your dream was, you could think, okay, did this dream have anything to do with the numbers? What is the message? Once again, journaling all that out. And then 1, initiation, creation, the start of something. All of those were also mentioned in the video yesterday. So like I said, so when I have a dream or when I have a number that confirms something that I was journaling about the previous day, for me, that is a highlight. Call it a spiritual highlight, whatever you call it. But to me, that is a highlight. And it says, hey, pay attention to this. So 4, 5, and 1. Now, because there are multiple ways to get to a number 10, multiple ways, 4 plus 6, all that kind of stuff. I do pay attention to the specific numbers that created the big number, because those are pieces of the energy vibration, however you want to go with the numbers. So 4, 5, and 1 is important. So after I write my dream, and that's what I should tell you. The first thing I wrote my dream, anything I can remember. And then I wrote the numbers really quick. What does a 4 mean? What does a 5 mean? What does a 1 mean? If you don't know what these mean, you can go online and look. You can get books, and I will talk about some books that I have here as well. So yeah, that's the first thing I would do. After that, gotta have my water. After that, I would look up the actual angel number. So I have one website that I actually really like. It's called Angel Numbers by Joanne Sacred Scribes. I really like that one because it breaks down the number 451. It puts the number together, all that kind of good stuff. So I'm going to read this to y'all. So this gives me a quick one for me to add to my journaling. Number 451 is a blend of the attributes of the energies of number 4, number 5, and vibrations of number 1. I like this because it gives you different words. It says number 4, number 5, and vibration of number 1, which is a slightly different word, things like that. Number 4, hard work, practicality, patience, worthiness, traditional values, and dependability, determined efforts, responsibility, and reliability, building solid foundations, achieving your goals, well-earned rewards. Now, as I do these, I like to go ahead and go straight into the journal prompts. Now, after you've written your dream, if you've written your initial numbers and you start reading this, then you are going to automatically start getting, okay, what popped in your head? What was the journal prompt? So as you read those and heard those, dependability, all those kinds of things, what came to your mind, because that becomes your journal prompt. So in my dream, I was at a friend's house, and I was helping someone put food on a plate. That was one thing. And then I was at the end, there was a party, a lot of dishes. And at the end, I said, I can help you wash your dishes. And I was helping her wash dishes. So right away, I'm already thinking dependability. In the dream, I felt as if the person could depend on me. So that becomes, hey, what did dependability mean to me? Patience and practicality. Patience. I remember thinking that all the dishes were piled up. I think I took a breath in the dream and was like, I can help you. And I decided to help her. I decided to help her. Other things that goes with traditional values, hard work. Hard work. To me, to wash a whole thing of dishes is hard work, because I don't recall there being a dishwasher in this dream other than the human being the dishwasher. So those are just some initial thoughts where I go, okay, how did that dream go with that number? And then I start writing that down. It goes on. Number 4 also resonates with passion, drive, energy. It also resonates with responsibility. I already said responsibility, reliability, as well as achieving your goals and well-earned rewards. And then this one mentions archangels. That would be a whole different video where I talk about archangels. All right, number 5 resonates with making positive life choices and important changes. Yesterday, I talked about 5, a pivot point. You can look both ways. Pivot point also means, in order for you to look both ways, and I didn't say this, what are you doing once you look both ways? What are you doing? What decisions are you making? So really, this goes with that, with some of the things that I talked about in the last video. So number 5, making positive life choices, important changes, life lessons learned through experience, curiosity, cleverness, and intelligence, personal freedom, activity and adventure, motivation. I'm going to stop there because now I'm already getting a journal prompt. So as I read this and I think about life lessons learned through experience. So kind of like in the last video, I talked to you all that someone had contacted me about their child having autism. And they were in their day 1. And I'm no longer in my day 1. My child's now 14 years old. And so now I'm able to talk through that experience. And at my day 1, I was not able to give anyone any advice or any experience. I was a basket case. I was in a basket in a fetal position. It wasn't good. But now, years later, I am able to give some sort of healing information when it comes to autism or special needs or any of those kinds of things. So I think about that as the life lessons I've learned through experience, other life lessons. Now, when I think about the dream had all women in it. It had women, and we were doing something to help a baby. And so I'm already thinking, and I was helping someone put food on their plate the way it was done. So I'm already thinking, okay, I am in a position to help people. And the numbers confirm that I'm in a position to help people with their situations, all that kind of stuff. Life lessons learned through experience, curiosity, cleverness, intelligence, personal freedom. That's a big one for me. Activity and adventure, motivation, release and surrender, and auspicious new opportunities. Ooh, I'm excited. New opportunities coming. And a number 1 adds to the vibration of achievement and success, ambition, courage, initiative, and inspiration, new beginnings, opportunities, self-leadership, and assertiveness. So just from doing the numbers and using the dream, then I'm able to journal, okay, these are what I think this means to me. I have initiative in certain areas. I mentioned yesterday, I'm thinking about how, what if I become an actual trained special needs advocate or something like that. And it doesn't even have to be those things. But like I said, in the dream, I was washing dishes, I was helping a friend, all that kind of good stuff. This goes on to talk about what angel number 451. It's a message that the choices and changes you're currently making are the right ones for you at this time in your life. Then, seek guidance. So guidance for me, and the way I seek guidance, I pray, I meditate, I listen, those kinds of things. Maintain a positive and optimistic attitude and outlook. Let go of negativity and trust that these changes will bring a great deal of happiness and satisfaction of your life. So if a lot of these things are how did you grow through the experiences that you had, I had to learn, and I've talked about this with a different audience. I had to go from bitter to better. I could not share my experience with people when I was stuck in bitter. I had to go from bitter to better, and then I'm able to look back, look ahead, see where I'm going, and see where someone else could be going, and say, hey, I've been through a similar situation, if they ask, and then go from there. And then 451 goes to 10. So we're gonna skip. So like I said, one of those things that I use, I'll put this in the notes, is Joanne's Sacred Scrolls. That's the beginning of, okay, what does each number mean? How does each number go with the dream? And then those become my journal prompts. That's how I journal my dream and my number. Next thing, I like to look at the final vibration, which was a 10. 4 plus 5 plus 1 is a 10. It also becomes a 1, but today I really feel called to look at the 10. Yesterday, I concentrated on the 1. So if you look at the video from yesterday, you'll see I talk a little bit more about the 1, and a lot of that is toward the end of yesterday's video. So the number 10, I am using Tanya Gabrielle's book. And I should say, I trust this book. I used at least 3 or 4 other books, and all the numbers mean the same. So if you're looking through books, especially the old ones, if you're looking through books and someone comes out of the blue with something, then that normally I'd put that book down, because at least I like to do the whole confirm by 3 or 4 witnesses, all that kind of stuff. So confirm your information before you go, okay, this is the information for some of these things that are ancient arts. So number 10. 10 is the vibration of instant manifestation, which to me is also confirmed with the numbers and the dream. This means you can manifest ideas, thoughts, goals, and emotions easily and often instantly. The 0 in the 10 adds an element of divine protection. Your words also have a great impact on others. The strong implementation gifts of this frequency carry a big responsibility, since your thoughts and feelings will manifest whether they are positive or negative. I will be watching this video again because I need to see what advice I gave myself. Speak over yourself. All right. Let me keep going. Since your thoughts and feelings, yep. So be sure to see your life from a glass half full perspective as often as possible. 10 is made up of 1 and 0, the straight line and curved circle, the building blocks of sacred geometry and the universe. If you, I work in an area with a lot of smart people, and there's a board where there's 1s and 0s all over the board, and someone who could actually read it told me that actually says something, and I said, I'm going to learn what that says. It's the second or third time I had a 1s and 0s conversation. And my son knows how to code, so I know how to look at numerology, but I'm not 1s and 0. I know. Okay, let's see. 10 is made up of 1 and 0, straight line and curved circle, the building blocks of sacred geometry in the universe, giving you direct access to cosmic wisdom. To me, when I get a dream and a number, then I am getting wisdom, and it's whether or not I want to dig. Sometimes I'm tired, I don't feel like getting up. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, but when I do get it like that, and it's been more than one day, then I do get up and I do start journaling and writing what is coming. Our computer code is made up of 1s and 0s. Dedicate your life to creating love and light in all ways, and you will manifest magical outcomes. Now, the shadow side, always have to have a shadow. You need to know what's on the flip side. The shadow side of number 10 is expressed when you are out of alignment. Watch out for clues. You are fixed and inflexible, opinionated, stubborn, and prone to exaggeration. You can also become tyrannical if your spiritual awakening and quest for awareness are being neglected. So those are just some other things. What I would do with that, and what I'm going to do later, is I would see what in that resonates and write about it, because that's what I would do with those different numbers. So that's your 10. 10 is instant manifestation. When I think of instant manifestation, to me, it does actually go with the 4 to 5 and the 1. For me, the practicality, not that, oh, is this practical? And if it's not, throw it out. I don't do that. But to me, practicality might be how I'm living my everyday life. That's a 4. The 5, the choices I made based on looking back and forth, the pivot point, looking back on my own experiences, learning from them, what decisions am I making? And then the 1, manifestation, initiation, creation. Okay, what am I creating right now in my life? And then how am I inspiring others? Now, for me, that is a responsibility. I am a leader. I am a military leader, and so I take great responsibility in the preparation development of people, and that's how I would use that. The final thing I would do to close all that, to close the whole loop, is I might look up different pieces of the dream. And so the big ones that pop up for me were the dishes, washing, and the fact that I had friends in the dream. And it's friends or coworkers, but I couldn't find coworkers. So I have a really old book, the Success Dream book. You can find this one online. And this one, I found out about this book or books like this from reading. I even like reading old historical numerology things. And so a long time ago, this is dealing with like folk, African American folk religion, folk life, whatever. They used to have a dream and a number, and they could, and I'm not gonna, I'd have to go look it up, but I think you had 24 to 48 hours to play those numbers. I remember when I found that in my numerology studies, that made me laugh. But anyway, there's a whole book that has that. It has the dream and it gives you the number that goes with that dream, which is why I liked it. I don't gamble, so I don't use it to gamble, but it does make me giggle a little bit. I have used it in reverse where I looked for the number. These are not in numerical order at all, so you really have to look and be divinely guided to the right page. Okay, so the first one I had with dishes. All right. And like I said, I'm not afraid to read negative and positive because I look at the whole message and go, okay, that's maybe the message, and that's what I'm journaling about. Dishes. To dream of clean dishes is a sign of wealth. Dirty dishes denotes poverty and remorse. So I'm already like, let's see. What if I was washing the dishes? This number goes 272. I'm not gonna do anything with that number. It doesn't resonate right away, and I make really fast choices when it comes to numbers. So if it doesn't resonate, I don't use it. The next one is wash. To wash clothes denotes a peaceful mind. I wasn't washing clothes. To wash yourself denotes an honorable career. I wasn't washing myself either. But that number is 5, 3, and 2, which is also a 10. To wash others is a sign of thrift. Now, I was washing someone else's dishes. Hopefully that means I'm being thrifty. I don't know. Wash basin denotes peace and satisfaction. And that's what a 3, 4, 1. That's an 8. Okay, wash woman. And so this is an old book for one thing. And so sometimes when you read, you have to go, okay, is that what that meant? Wash woman. To see one in your sleep denotes that you'll rise above your present position and be happy for the rest of the life. What if I was the one washing the dishes? Would that make me the wash woman? But anyway, so those are just some things that you can do. And like I said, for me, numbers, numbers tell on themselves. And so if there was one here that I would use, it'd be the 5, 3, and 2, because it's also a 10. And that one is to wash yourself, denotes an honorable career. And then I'd write about it. I'd journal. Okay, well, what does that mean to me? If it doesn't go with the dream and the other numbers, then I won't journal about it. I won't waste too much time. And then the last one was friend. I decided to look at friend. To dream of a friend denotes that you will form the acquaintance of a well-trained person. And so I think that's interesting. Only in that I'm hoping I meet well-trained people. I like well-trained people. I like people who know what they're talking about. And so that'd be the last thing I would do. And sometimes I would just look at those. And if a writing prompt comes up, I'll write. And if not, I won't. But really, my biggest thing is I use the numbers, I use the dream, and then that becomes, like I said, writing prompt. So if you're thinking, hey, what does the 4 mean to you? What does the 5 mean to you? What does the 1 mean to you? What does the 10 mean to you? Those are things you can write about. How do they correspond to the dream? Or it could have been something that happened right before that. So let's say you're driving on the highway and you see 1111, either on the clock or on the clock or you see it on a sign, then you can ask yourself for later, hey, what was happening when I saw the number? And then you can write about this is what was happening, because sometimes those are things like, hey, pay attention. Hey, pay attention. Hey, pay attention. And so, like I said, I'll probably look back at the one that said 532, since that also equals 10, and add that to my journaling of the dream. So that's pretty much the end of this one. So like I said, I went over the dream numbers. So you had a dream, you had a number, and you wanna find out more about that. You want to use that as journal prompts so you can start writing more about your life and things like that. So let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if any of that was confusing. And I will put the books and resources that I used in the description. So everyone have a great day. And I'll be on here at some other time to talk about other fun things with numbers and journaling. Bye.